Welcome back everyone to another video of World of Warship Legends. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tier 4 alternative destroyer line, Minekaze. In the background here we have a game of domination on North. This is going to be a 4 or 5 game. For the purposes of this video we're going to be comparing the Minekaze against the Mutsuki and kind of looking at the key differences, the advantages, disadvantages, and see if there's any different builds that we need to consider or different ways we need to play the ships to get the most out of them. As you can see here, we got started just north of the B cap. We're going to go ahead and push in, and with our detection, right now it's at 4.5 kilometers. I am using Hellsinger for my build. That gives me twist and track, and I'm using a double detection build, so I have Swirsky and Bay as my inspirations with him. And I think with the torp range and detectability combination on this ship, that is the best build to really go with. But if we're looking here at the stats between the two ships, detection pretty equal. The Mutsuki wins by 0.1 kilometers. Same number of torps on each ship, but the difference being the reload time. On the Minekaze, we have a 37-second reload time versus a 64.2-second reload time on the Mutsuki. The range, Mutsuki wins that one. It has an 8-kilometer range versus 6 of the Minekaze. Speed, 63 knots for the Minekaze versus 67 knots for the Mutsuki. And the max damage, the Mutsuki has a significant advantage here. It has max damage of 14,600 versus 10,833, giving a per salvo potential damage of 87,600 for the Mutsuki and 64,998 for the Minekaze. But once we start calculating damage per minute, that's where we really start to see the Minekaze start to shine. With a 37-second reload time, that means it's going to be able to get off 1.62 salvos per minute versus 0.93 salvos per minute for Mutsuki, giving a total damage per minute potential of 105,296 versus 81,468. Now, it is important to note on this build, since I am running Hellsinger, if you were to run, say, Tanaka, you could get another kilometer of range out of the torpedoes and really make it a little bit easier on yourself. But again, you do lose twist and track, which I think is just completely invaluable. The gun side, we're not going to look at the guns too much because, to be honest, if you're using the guns a ton at Tier 4 in these ships, you're playing them wrong. The Minekaze has 4 guns with an 11-second reload, while the Mutsuki has 2 guns with a 5.5-second reload. So it actually comes out to the same potential damage per minute. I will say the Minekaze is about as close as you can get to the Kamikaze if you don't have that ship. The 37-second reload is absolutely killer. That basically means by the time your first set of torpedoes runs out of range, you're ready to shoot your next set. And if you're a cruiser or a battleship that's sailing into the direction of one of these ships, it's absolutely punishing. Getting into the game now, we started just north of the B cap. We pressed in, we spotted the pod, able to take him out. It's kind of an error on his part. If you're going to smoke up, make sure that you can get out of the smoke both ways. Fortunately for him, he was right up against that island, so he could only go backwards. We were able to throw the torpedoes in the direction we thought that they would be going. Unfortunately for him, he has a early return to port. So we were able to get in, take B. We reassessed. We saw that our team had already really gotten C. So we decided to head out to the west and go attack this convoy of cruisers and the one battleship. Our Warspite's been having his hands full out here. Right here, the Molotov does a very, very poor job of paying attention. It sat still for the longest time. He's going to eat 3 of these torpedoes and go down for our second dev strike of the game. Now, I want to note the way this team's playing this. They're chasing the battleship all the way off the edge of the map. I appreciate the play by our battleship. He's making sure to just keep pulling them away. He's doing the best he can to remain alive, but when you're getting shot at by that many ships, it's just nearly impossible. But he's done the best that he can, really. He's really bitten into that French cruiser. So what we're going to do, we kind of we thought about going out and trying to get some kills, but we decided rather let's go in, let's make sure that we can finish off this win rather than, you know, maybe allowing them to continue accruing points on that cap. So at this point, we see their ship on the east side went down. That remains only these 3 ships that are chasing the battleship and the 1 ship that's down to the south. If you were in this situation where you're trying to win, don't chase the ships. If the ship wants to take himself out of position, that's fine. Let him. Stop firing your guns, lose detectability, and then try to get into the B cap. That's what this team should have done. Unfortunately, just real poor play. They're chasing kills rather than trying to chase the win. Here we see the Italian cruiser pop up. We're going to go ahead and fire a couple torpedoes in his path. Again, since we have 4.5 detectability and the Italian cruisers do not have sonar, we can kind of have a decent amount of assurance to know that we're not going to be spotted here. We're not going to have to worry about getting the cap reset. Right here, we're just trying to, I'm not going to fire my guns. We're just seeing if those torpedoes are going to hit just a little bit in front of him. Fortunately, we do close off the cap before he steps in. And then we do fire the guns once we close off the cap, pop smoke. And at this point, they finished off the battleship. They're starting to press back in. It's way too late. We have a 3 to 6 ship advantage. I am going to try to steal a kill here. I'm going to fire some torpedoes in the Emil's path. I'm going to go ahead and shoot my guns a couple times. I'm only going to do this, though, as long as I can get back into the smoke in a hurry. With the 11-second reload time, it's just impractical to use the guns. Unless you're going to be able to hit. And right here, this guy probably has less than 50 hit points. Unfortunately, just potatoed the shots and whiffed. Fortunately, though, we do have a teammate come in, finish him off. And now what we got to do is we need to make sure that we stay out of the range of the Königsberg sonar. All German cruisers have some longer detection of ships with their sonar. I believe it's around 4.5 for the Königsberg. So we're going to just continue kiting away from his direction, throw some torpedoes where we think it's going to be in the path. He does do a good job of manipulating the throttle, which I absolutely encourage you to do if you have a destroyer in your area. Use the rudder, go back and forth, use the throttle, kind of make your path unpredictable. It's really going to make life difficult on the destroyers, and it's going to really just increase your odds of surviving longer, especially with destroyers in the area. Here, Abudiani, he comes in, finishes off the kill, and now all we have left is the Normandy. Overall, I think this ship is powerful. It's very, very fun to play. It's a little bit less powerful than maybe the Mutsuki, but I like it for the reload time. The potential damage per minute is huge. The range of the torpedoes leaves a little bit to be wanting, but again, you can always switch over to Tanaka as your captain, and you're going to get that extra kilometer. You can get them out to 7 kilometers and really start tormenting people. With the Kamikaze, I do use Helsinger as well, so I get the 7-kilometer torpedoes there. If you don't have the Kamikaze, give this ship a try. It's a good teaser. It's not the exact same. It has a little bit less damage on the torpedoes. The guns are roughly the same. And the detection's just 0.1 kilometers worse than what you see on the Kamikaze. But overall, these ships are very comparable and kind of a poor man's Kamikaze. This game was a good demonstration of what the ship can do. The low detection just makes it so difficult to combat. Here in the last play, I am going to just go for a little bit of the suicide torp run. We have a several ship lead. I'm not worried about us losing at this point. Unlucky right there. His secondaries popped me for a fire and for knocking out my engine. But we are able to damage con it. Engine goes out one more time, but at this point we're close enough, and the torpedoes are well on their way by this point. Finish off the game and the win. What are your guys' thoughts on these ships? Do you like it? Dislike it? Let me know in the comments down below. If this is your first time coming, please consider hitting subscribe. We'll have a lot more videos coming at you shortly. Have a great day.